All right, we are green, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. My name is Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix both of those things together through orienting towards a solution to actually change this bad boy for the better and the next generation. And thank you guys for tuning in. This Friday live stream is a bombshell upon bombshells. Send this to everyone that you know. And as you're filtering in, understand this is what all the research that we do points to. This is a collaborative effort with National Association for Gun Rights. They helped me figure out all the sick octopus tentacles on this, and make sure you follow them on Twitter or on X, just like you follow me, which I'm going to show you in a second. But make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you are done with this corruption and you want to pass our tax dollars to us, not against us globally and against us locally and domestically, and that would be amazing. All right. So as we dive into this, guys, get ready for this one because genuinely, this is crazy. All right. So as I mentioned, this is a collaborative video effort put forward by myself and NAGR, or National Association for Gun Rights. They dove in deep with the researchers on this, and I'm about to show you all the stuff that we came up with together. So make sure you give them some love in the comments down there, and you follow them on X. And while you're doing that, make sure you follow me at BradenLOA, because this right here, guys, is why we fight every single day. Everything is linked in the description box below, per usual. Now let's dive into this as we are good with audio and video. Okay, so you guys were here with me last week when we talked about the funding and the taxpayer dollars that were going to gun control organizations, right? Like Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, March for Our Lives made an appearance. That was a really good video because it exposed what the USAID tax dollars were funding against our rights. Well, this one is even more insidious because what I'm about to show you is how the taxpayer dollars are going to fund global gun control, which circumvents and comes back to hit us right in the gonads as well. Everything that I'm about to show you is money laundering. It is complete and total hide the ball, and I'm going to show it to you in spades right now. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is this tweet or this post from NAGR. Breaking: taxpayer dollars are funding global gun control. USAID funds are being funneled to control arms, the groups behind the UN Arms Trade Treaty and Mexico's lawsuit against U.S. gun makers. Now, keep that in mind. U.S. gun makers are getting sued by Mexico, okay? So all of that money is being funneled through these organizations that I'm about to show you to that end, okay? That's how it circumvents. It goes global and then comes back domestic. So domestic, global, domestic, all right? As you can see, they've got a petition. You can check it out. It'll be linked right down there. I want to show you the document that they sent me. Look at this. So as we flip this over, there we go. Internews Network. Now, there's a bunch of names that we're about to walk through. So Internews Network is a C3 dependent on USAID for 93.45% of its funding. Again, Internews Network. I'm going to show you the octopus in a second. Providing over $6 million in grants to domestic organizations in 2023. Despite extensive efforts to cover up where their $6 million was spent, the paper trail shows it trickling down to control arms. Again, I'm going to show you in 1 second. Here is a basic left to right of where that money went. This is a visualization. USAID, $30 million. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys a little bit. And we'll just scoot to the left as we go forward, or to the right rather. USAID, $30 million, goes to Internews Network. Then it goes to New America Foundation, goes to the Tides Center, that's a George Soros center, goes to the Tides Foundation, which is a George Soros center, and ends at Nonviolence International, Control Arms, okay? All of these names, I'm going to walk you through in a second, but this is how they're doing it. They are using our tax dollars to fund global gun control efforts, which are then suing us from external organizations like the Mexican government, okay? This is a really big one, guys, and I'm going to go right back to what I showed you a second ago, the tweet thread. Okay, so let me get back over here. Here we go. So I've shown you this. It's all linked, and if you're just now catching up, this is how our tax dollars are being basically funneled through a laundry scheme in order to get to global funding of gun control. Here we go. You remember this? These little things where we can see all of the different octopus of the gun control financials. Yeah, I'm going to show it to you right now, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this is the only way to describe it is insidious. And again, special thanks to NAGR for piecing this all together. All right. So as we dive into this, I'm just going to scoot in here. I'm going to show you a few of the players, and then we're going to kind of go at this. Now, as you can see, you have to understand how this graph works. Red, like this one right here, that means high tax dollar contribution. Yellow means medium taxpayer contribution. And these gray lines, that shows you where the money goes from organization to organization. So if I zoom out on this, it actually shows you the twisted web and all the gray lines that are all connected, okay? I'm walking you through this as best I can, and please let me know I'm landing this plane in the comments. So as you see this, excuse me, we're going to see a few players that you're familiar with. Now let's zoom back in here, and then I'll show you some money. Hey, look, there's the Tides Foundation. Remember the Internews network? You see how many dollars that is? Let's zoom in a little further. That is $93 million, or $94 million of taxpayer funds that are going to Internews network. Okay? Remember, Internews network is tied to that organization that's funding the Mexican lawsuit. Okay? Let's zoom out a little bit more. Watch this. World Research Institute, and it all goes directly to the Tides Foundation. And wouldn't you know it, the grants given for the Tides Foundation is $326 million, but they don't have any taxpayer funds. Well, wait until I show you all these gray lines, okay? This is where it's really important to understand what they're doing and how they're hiding the ball, okay? If I scoot down, sorry, I'm trying to do this and talk at the same time. It's not exactly easy. Board of Trustees, where'd it go? I guess I can just stay here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where all this money's coming from, okay? Watch this. So the World Resource Center, the Internews Network, and the Tides Foundation. So here we go. Tides Foundation. Watch this little track right here. We follow this gray line over here to the Non-Violence Network, and then it continues to go down to, wouldn't you know it, Fidelity Investments again. The same players that are doing this with Everytown for Gun Safety and everything that we've seen so far. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can get my bearing. This is really genuinely insidious, to be quite candid. I mean, it's the only way you can describe it. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this bearing back for the Tides Foundation. Oh goodness gracious, I am lost in the web, and I'm live, so what could go wrong? Okay, let's just start at the Tides Foundation where I know the money's coming from. Tides Center, there we go, it moved on me. This is what we're looking for right here. So all the money is coming down to the Tides Center. This is what we're looking for, $35 million. Now you look back again, and where does this go? You follow this all the way up, and it goes directly to the Tides Foundation. And then the money is distributed again to Internews networks. Guys, look, okay, so find this all on your own, but this entire web is designed to hide money from organization to organization to organization. And look at this. Internews network, that same one that I just showed you. Starting in 2022, they got more grants. They got 5 grants from 2 grants. They got 31 million. The next year, 32 million. The next year, 39 million. And now all of a sudden, Trump, they get 13 million. What I'm trying to piece together here, and that web is hard to navigate when you're looking at it from like on a live, for example. But what you're looking at here is during the Biden administration, which is the same administration that was going against our gun rights consistently over and over and over and over again, they increased the funding by large amounts of money to these organizations to the tune of 31, 32, and 39 million dollars, and now it's going down to 13, which is still egregious. But it's all being funneled in order to go from taxpayer to domestic organization to international organization to sue domestic organization. This entire thing is lining up to use your taxpayer dollars against us, the American citizens, and our rights. Guys, this is truly insane. Johnny Emery says, Ponzi scheme? Yeah, I think Ponzi scheme covers this one. What we're looking at, honestly, Ponzi scheme might be actually worse. This is honestly just good old-fashioned money laundering, is what it looks like. And I got to be really careful there. But you've got the players like Tides Foundation, you've got the Tides Network, what were the 2 words? It was Tide Foundation and I'll remember in a second. Hold on. It was Tides Foundation and, what was it called? I just had it in my brain. Tides Center. There we go. It's right here. Tides Center. So all of these organizations are all tied together in order to fund global gun control, which comes back and hits you domestically. Congratulations. That's what you're funding. Send this out everywhere, guys. Make sure you follow NAGR on this. Make sure you follow me on this, because this stuff right here, This is the thread that unravels everything. If you can see where the gun control is coming domestically for the gun control organizations, which we've covered already, and now you see it happening on the external through the Mexican lawsuits, guys, I don't know how else to give you the raw receipts because this is damning. Everything is linked. Let me hear you if I think I had an upset stomach, exactly. Let me hear you if I landed the plane in here in the comments because I know that was convoluted, and I will see you guys on the next one. But thank you, special thanks to NHER for making this possible, and hopefully we can spread the news and fight this where it stands. So see you on the next one.